dumbed down quite a bit, obviously, for spring game. How dumbed down does it get, though? Because it's obviously, you've got prying eyes out there, of course, but you still want to get stuff out of it, too. So.
No, you're right. I think if we were going to lean one way or another, every team is different. I think if we're going to lean one way or another with this team, it's going to be about executing what we do and not worrying about who sees it. So I think we're going to call a lot of different things, put guys in challenging situations, and see who can respond. I think that's kind of been our MO all week. So we'll see how it goes here at the Final 48.
It's kind of like final exam day in a lot.
You know, it is in a lot of ways. You know, I think we've learned a lot about our team, which is part of spring, right? So identifying who can do what, and then obviously putting that into the big picture conceptually, like what can we do better than anybody, and what can we do best, you know, in terms of our personnel. So I think we've learned that, and for them, you know, this Final 48, the preparation tonight, tomorrow, and then the game is a big deal. And I say it to you guys every year, you know, you go into that stadium and all the eyes are there now, and it's a little bit different than being here on Green Tree, and it needs to be. So we'll see who relishes in that and who can execute and keep their poise, and it should be good.
What goes into the Final 48 after between now and kickoff? What happens?
Yeah, just, you know, we'll have some meetings tomorrow. Obviously for them, getting rested up and taking care of themselves, you know, tonight and tomorrow night, and final meetings tomorrow, and then getting ready to go. So, you know, they'll have the game plans, they'll have their tip sheets, and we'll treat it like a game.
Al, what type of bearing does the spring game have on, I don't know, on the fall, I guess, or off season, whatever?
Yeah.
What does it affect most, you think?
I think more than anything, you leave a very strong impression in the coaches' minds in terms of what you can do. And you know, for anybody that says, "Oh, I'll get it in the fall," or "I'll do it," you know, when we get back to training camp. I mean, that's all fine and everything, but that doesn't mean the coaches aren't going to think about the game every day and devise their plans on offense, defense, and special teams, and decide who's catching what route and who's best at running this play, and you know, who's the best in nickel, and all those things. So I think from that standpoint, there's a lot at stake in this game, and I think our guys have got a good approach, and they got to continue that through Saturday.
Anything else, guys?
Rashawn Scott had said that he's still continuing to grow in his leadership and stuff. What have you seen him grow, and what does he still have to do?
Yeah, you know, again, Tracy's over here. I think, you know, I'm challenging all those guys about what's the sense of being a senior if you're not going to use your wisdom, if you're not going to use your experience, if you're not going to set a high standard and demand that the teammates do the same. So I think that's where Rashawn is kind of growing as a person. Kind of been there, done that on a couple things, and kind of moving on in terms of being mature and understanding what he's got to get done. I've been very pleased with him. He's been unselfish. He's worked hard, and I'm glad he's thinking in terms of what you just said to me, because maybe he's starting to see the big picture. He can have a larger impact on our team and on our success this year if he does that.
Al, Brad talked a little bit about just the focus on cleaning up the penalties, the sloppiness, the
Yeah.
MEs. How do you feel that they've made progress on that front? Or is it still a constant work in progress?
No, it is. I think you guys know it's out there. So I mean, you'll know as well as we do. You know, at 2:00 on Saturday, whether or not we played sharp and crisp and eliminated some of the operational fouls. So that is definitely one of our challenges. Christy, I think it's been good at times during the spring. I didn't think it was particularly good last Saturday. So we got to see a lot of growth here. You know, by the scrimmage Saturday, we really got to make progress there with our penalties and just playing the game smarter, protecting the ball, and doing the little things right.
Anything else?
Okay, guys, have a great day.